Good morning, middle 2. Hello again. We stopped last time in number 16 in the rewrite, and we are now going to continue our grammar revision starting from number 17. Okay. The first sentence, number 17, taking exercise makes you healthy and strong. So, I'm talking now to a person who is not healthy, who is not strong, who doesn't do exercises. So, I will say to him, if I start with if, but it's a small letter, so I will put it in the middle. So, it will be, you would be healthy and strong if you took exercise. You would be healthy and strong if you took exercise or if you do exercises. Okay, number 18. I just read Jeanette's new book. Her book came out last month. Okay, here we are having some questions that we should use relative pronouns. Which, who, whose, where, and when. Do you remember them? We use which to talk about things. We use who to talk about people. Whom to about people. Who's about something that someone owns or possessions. Where for place. When for time, and so on. Okay, number 18, with, we are going to use which. I just read Jeanette's new book. I have just, here there is not, there's something wrong in the sentence, sorry. I have just read Jeanette's new book. Her book came out last month. So the answer will be, I have just read Jeanette's new book. So which is going to be instead of her book, so I will answer her book, and with which came out last month. Which came out last month. Okay? Number 19. Researchers in Spain analyzed the changes in pop music over time. They identified differences in quality, pitch, and loudness. So it will be researchers in Spain who analyzed the changes in pop music over time, identified differences in quality, pitch, and loudness. Okay? So it will be researchers in Spain who, I can start with who identified, who identified differences in quality, pitch, and loudness, analyze the changes in pop music over time. Okay? Okay, we will complete writing. Differences in, I will answer at the end of the page. Differences in quality, pitch, and loudness, analyzed changes in pop music. Over time. Okay? Okay, back again. Number 20. The man is a writer. We met him at theater yesterday. So the man whom we met at the theater yesterday is a writer. Okay, what's the difference between whom and who? Who, when I talk about a person who is in the subject place, okay? Researchers are the one who did the but here I will remove him and I will use whom. So the man whom we met at the theater yesterday is a writer. Okay? Did you understand the difference between them? Mr. Narayan doesn't like publicity. Mr. Narayan books are bestsellers. Okay? So it will be Mr. Narayan whose books are best sellers doesn't like publicity. Okay? Okay, now number 22. This is the shop. It's selling things half the price. So it will be, this is the shop where things, look at this, where things are sold. Okay, are sold half the price, are sold half the price. So here, because we are talking about a place, I use where, and I changed some things, I converted it into passive in the second half of the sentence. This is the shop where things are sold half the price. So this is the place where I can find in it things sold half the price. Number 23, it's 3 p.m. I take my lunch now. So it will be, it's 3 p.m. when I take my lunch. Okay, number 24, I have one black cat. His name is Blackie. So it will be, I have one black cat. His, I will remove it, and whose name is Blackie. Okay? Number 25, the city seems to be abandoned. And it's usually crowded with people. Okay, so the city which seems to be abandoned. Okay, I will remove the answer of the other question. Okay, and I will cancel it. It will be is, usually crowded. Okay, now we will turn the page. Number 26, the word wide web has become an essential part of our lives. It was invented by Tim Berners-Lee. Okay, now the answer will be, we want to use which, so it will be the word wide web, which was invented by Tim Berners-Lee, has become an essential part of our lives. It will be the word wide web, which was, or piece of it, which was invented by Tim Berners-Lee. And I will take from here has become an essential part. Has become an essential part of our lives and to the end of the sentence. Now I remind you with the differences between past simple and past continuous. They ate pizza yesterday. So this is, sorry, again, they or I ate pizza yesterday. I was eating pizza at 5 o'clock yesterday. So what is the difference between the two sentences? Here, it is in the past simple. This in the past continuous. Okay. So what is the difference between the meaning of the two sentences? Here in the past simple, I didn't mention a certain time in the past. I said yesterday without mentioning when yesterday. At noon, in the afternoon, at night, at 2 o'clock, at 3 o'clock. I didn't mention. But in the second sentence, I was eating pizza at 5 o'clock yesterday, so I mentioned certain time in the past, okay? So here I mentioned certain time in the past. I didn't say yesterday, I said at 5 o'clock yesterday. I can also say he played tennis last week or last night, okay? It will be he was playing all night yesterday, okay? Yes, okay, here I said all night, so it's a long action which took longer duration of time in the past. I didn't say last night only. No, I mentioned that the action took a long time in the past, all night yesterday. And in the previous example, 5 o'clock yesterday. So if we mention certain time in the past or certain duration of time in the past, and if we mention that it took a long time in the past, all night, all day yesterday, all the afternoon yesterday, all the last week, and so on, all of these shows that it was a long action that took a long duration of time in the past, so I use past continuous in these situations. Okay? Let's answer some questions on that lesson. Okay, complete the sentences using the past simple or the past continuous tense. First, when Caroline gets off the bus, it snowed a little. Do you remember when and while when we connect two sentences using when and while? We used to put after when past simple and after while past continuous and so on. So they are opposite to each other. And if we have two actions that didn't stop each other, we put past continuous with while. And if there is two short actions that happened after each other without stopping each other also, we use past simple with when. Okay, here, when Caroline got off the bus, it was snowing. It was snowing. Here, the action happened suddenly. She got out of the bus. When Caroline got off the bus, it was snowing a little. Okay, number two, I think some prices. Okay, number two, I think some prices increased a lot during the last 2 months. So it will be, I think, some prices increased. It's past simple action, something happened in the past, increased a lot during the last 2 months. action. They were talking. This is the long action. They were talking on the phone when the bus suddenly arrived. So this is the short action that happened in the past simple, and this is the long action, and the short action interrupted the long one. My cousin Laila tell me good jokes yesterday evening at the bar. So yesterday evening, I didn't say yesterday only. I said certain time in the past. So yesterday evening, so it will be was telling. Lilian was telling me good jokes. Okay. Number 5. It was very cold, so I shiver and feel tired. So it will be, it was very cold, so I was shivering. I was shivering, okay, and felt tired, Okay, again, let's write this. Was shivering. Okay, and felt tired. Number 6, Leonard do some research at the laboratory when I called him. So when I called him here, I stopped his action. So Leonard was doing some research. Number 7, the girl whispered something in my ear, but I couldn't understand it. So the girl whispered something in my ear. But I couldn't understand it. Okay. And 5, Mrs. Simpson was having. Why was having? Because I mentioned certain time in the past. So it will be was having. Was having a cup of coffee with some friends. Helen and Hector, number 9, spent a lot of money last Easter holidays. So it will be spent a lot of money last Easter holidays, okay? It's last Easter holidays. Alexander began to cry when I told him the bad news. So it will be Alexander began to cry when I told him bad news. So here, why I used past simple, because we said if 2 actions happen after each other without stopping each other, I will use when with 2 past simple actions. Alexander began to cry when after I told him the bad news. So this action happened after this action without stopping each other. So they are both going to be in the past simple. Okay? So today we have revised while and when, and we have revised the relative pronouns. I will remind you again what we took today. We took when and while. So as we said, when the phone rang, I was eating. As we said, this is a short action that stopped the long action. I was eating, so I stopped eating to answer the phone. Okay, because it rang. Here, if we use while or as or just as, because they are all equal, or as or just as, we said that we will start with the long action. I will say, while I was eating, the phone rang. Okay? Okay, but if we have 2 parallel actions, no one of them stop the other, like this, while I was cooking, Daddy or Dad was reading the book. Did we stop each other here? No. They are both 2 long actions that happens at the same time without stopping each other or without interrupting each other. So they are both 2 long actions without interrupting each other. I was cooking, my dad was she. Anything. When she ate, she went out. Okay? She ate, she went out. So no action stop. No one of the actions. None of them stop the other action. None of them stop the other action. So she went out. She ate and then she went out. So nothing stopped the other. No action stopped the other. So this I can use here past simple, past simple. Okay. Goodbye, little two. I'll see you next week, inshallah.